Tommy here with Woodlands Resort, lovely Devil's Lake, North Dakota. I'd like to show you a couple things today that'll really increase your odds when you come out to fish with us. I'm going to rig up a new rod and reel combination here. I personally like this Jason Mitchell Dead Meat. It's a dual pole. It's got a sensitive tip for perch and also enough backbone for your walleyes. Line, I fish exclusively with like a fire line from Berkley, a crystal. I like the 1-4, which is nice for combination walleyes and perch. And myself, when you get that really finicky bite, I really love this new 2-pound, half-pound diameter crystal. That seems to be working very well for me this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to call an audible.
Also, with this rig that I'm going to set up for you, I suggest a dead stick. Since our area is pretty heavily pressured with a lot of anglers, it seems like a big gaudy bait under a bobber, a big spoon or a big rattling spoon, kind of like you would do at like Lake of the Woods, doesn't quite work that well for us. So what I suggest is just a simple plain gold hook. I personally like the Aberdeen size 8 or 6 by Eagle Claw. Also, Daiichi is a good option. That comes in the red or the gold. Your bobber stops here, I like the thinner diameter thread for a bobber stop for the smaller line. These bobber stops will work, but they tend to loosen if you have a smaller diameter line. They're excellent for your summer fishing, like bobber leech fishing. And then this is just your standard split shot. The number on this is PSS 5 Water Gremlin split shot, and that is perfect weight for this small bobber and hook that I'm going to show you. Alright guys and girls, I'm going to show you how to do a simple slip bobber rig. First thing is your bobber stop. Insert your line through the bobber stop. This is that small diameter 2-pound line that I'm going to use for this slip bobber rig. Give yourself a foot or so of line, then grasp this knot firmly and pull off the plastic tubing that the knot is tied on. You can get rid of that. Then cinch your knot, not super tight because you want to be able to adjust that up and down. Leave the tails on for now. Then you get your gold hook, red hook, whatever you prefer. Like I said before, I prefer the Aberdeen hooks. Slightly longer shank. I go through once. This is called a Palomar knot. I go through once, back the other way. So essentially what we have here is doubled line. And then I'm going to tie a simple overhand knot. And then grab that loop, put your hook through that loop, and then cinch down. Usually you would wet your line slightly before you cinch it down, but I have a bad cold and I do not want to give the perch a bad cold. Snip off your end. Then attach yourself that number 5 split shot. Cinch that down about 6 inches from your hook. Don't let your mother and father see that you did that with your teeth. And actually, I'm going to have to grab my pliers and give that just a little tighten. Just so that stays in place. That'll work. Now this is just a regular lead weight that's used for slip bobber fishermen. Tie that on to your hook, and then we're going to send this down I have my rod and free spool. Where we're fishing today in our area is slightly deep water. It's around 44 to 45 foot. It's going to take me a little bit to get down. Getting close right there. That's the bottom. I can feel that weight is right on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is adjust this knot so it is right there, is right at water level, the knot. So I would like to fish today about 1.5 feet off the bottom. So I'm going to adjust this knot about 1.5 feet down. Now is when you could cinch this a little better so it stays. And then at that point, I suggest to clip off your tails, but leave yourself maybe 1/2 inch in case your line, when it dries out the next day, if it slips, you can retighten. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reel this up. There goes my knot right there, and that gets buried in your reel. Won't affect anything. Take your lead weight off. Set that aside. Here in North Dakota, we have fathead minnows that we use live. I like to hook them right below the dorsal fin and above the spine, and then they'll swim off the bottom like this. I'm going to send this guy down. I like to get it started below water level, sending it down, and then your slip bobber, this clips right to your line right here. That way, if you change to jigging and you cut off your hook to put a jig on, you can take your bobber right out. We're going to set that back on, send that down. Now I'm going to deploy my Vexilar FL28 and see how good I did with my bobber placement. Here's my minnow and split shot coming down. This is your whole water column. I'll be showing up right here. That's a perfect example. The hard signature on top is actually my split shot, and the wavering signature below is the minnow. This is a big fish coming up to greet me. I'm going to go down to his area. Seems that my bobber is set perfectly. So actually, I did pretty good setting my slip bobber where I have 1 foot above the signature of the split shot and the minnow. That big red mark that's coming up off the bottom is a perch, most likely. This is me slightly above it. They're making a break for me. They're coming up. With any luck, they'll come and give me a little bite. I like to give it a shake, a little shake, keeps them interested. Okay, there's a bite, bobber going down. Oh, there's a fish. That feels kind of good. I'm gonna, at first guess, I'm gonna say probably, I'm gonna say about a 10-inch Devil's Lake golden, beautiful jumbo perch. Oh, I was tricked. But that'll work. There's a lovely walleye. That's a good eater size, probably 13 inches or so. Bobber looks like it might want to go. There's a good bite. Coming down. Fish on. Fish on. This is a thumper. Oh, look at that. Thump, thump, thump.